Hey everyone, I thought I would make this video here kind of explaining a couple of things. I want to make this clear right from the beginning. This is a not a how to draw video, just some tips and tricks that I picked up for doing manga pages. By no way does this mean that this is the only way or the correct way to do it. This is just stuff that's helped me along, so I thought I'd share that information with you guys and kind of show you how I go about it. Like I said, if you have a way of doing it that works for you, by all means do it your way. There's ways that other people do it that works for them that doesn't work for me. So I just thought I would show you guys maybe how I set it up. Maybe some people that are just getting ready to start might get some ideas on good ways to start. First thing, as you can see here, is I have my storyboard page. Storyboard pages are meant so that you can check the flow of your work as you're going. They're very important. And this is something you will do as you continue to even get to the professional level. If you got to a serialized manga, they would ask you to turn in storyboards to your editor so they could work out the story with you through the storyboards before you go do final drafts, because it's just so much quicker to do these. You could do a 32-page storyboard in 2 days compared to doing final drafts. So as you see, what I did when I do my storyboards is, if I'm doing something that the panel is being driven by the expression, I'll just quickly sketch in the expression I'm trying to do to make sure that I can get a sense. Now, it doesn't have to be anatomically super correct. I'm just trying to make sure that throughout the whole page that I can see what I'm trying to do with the expression, with the eyebrows, with the eyes, with the pupils, with the mouth, is pulling off that expression. So as you can see here, this isn't perfect. This eyebrow should actually kick down a little bit in the eye, but I know that. But I can see that the overall intensity I was looking for this expression is here. And then as you can see, this panel here, I just got a setup shot. And this one here, you can see I'm doing a shot where I'm showing that he's moving his head back and forth. And then I got one here where everyone's rallied up, and you can see there's a bunch of students back there. And this is actually a redraw from one of the Hitman Reborn pages. I was trying to figure out what to do to kind of give you guys a good thing, and this kind of had the best examples, and I didn't want to spend weeks trying to design my own page to do this lesson, so I took this and ran with it. Now, as you can see, this storyboard is just done on cheap copy paper. Nothing big about it. This was just done with a mechanical pencil. This took me about 5.5 minutes, and I had this done. As you can see, the great thing about this is not only do you get to see how your story's progressing, how your angles are going, if you get what you're supposed to be saying throughout the whole page, it also allows you to play with your panels and your border setups and all that right here so you can see it. So you can do 4 or 5 different ones with the same stuff, maybe changing the panels and making it more interesting that way. So that's the storyboard process. From the storyboard process is, once you get a page that you like storyboard, you are going to go through and you are going to do a rough draft. And as you can see here, I do my rough drafts a little differently than I see anyone else does on here. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of see. What I do when I'm doing my rough draft is I'll do all the characters and backgrounds in blue lead. Then I'll draw all my letters and word bubbles. Anything that comes out in front that I don't want to mess up when I'm inking and put a line through, I draw with just an HB pencil, so I know when I'm drawing that I have to hit those first. Those are out in front. It also allows me when I'm looking at the page to see how the depth looks. But like I said, I've done it before where I used to do everything in the same color ink, same color lead, and I would get confused at which line is what, and I would get like an hour and a half into inking a full page, and on the bottom of the last panel I'd mess up a line and have to restart all the way again, because you can use whiteout for small areas, but if you do too much whiteout on a page, when they do a high gloss scan of it, it will show up as a discoloration, so you can't really use whiteout to save too much when you make too many mistakes. And you could do this as you could do, instead of using an HB pencil, you could use a different color lead, like maybe red lead for your letters and stuff that sticks out in front. You just want something that you can tell, okay, this is out in front, so these lines are the most important. Any lines that are in them, I don't have to worry about. As you can see, I just went through, scanned it all in, made sure that it's got good flow. Here where there's just a lot of lines and stuff, I quickly just throw in some shading on the stuff that's going to be pure black, so I can, when I'm inking, I can tell, because sometimes you'll be drawing these pages for hours and hours on end, and you will kind of forget what exactly you planned on being pure black and what you planned on being shaded and skin tone. Usually, if you have large areas that are going to be blackened out, you put an X on them, so when you're inking, anything that are in those lines of the X, you just completely black out. But something that has this much small stuff, that can get just as confusing. So sometimes it's worth taking a very light HB pencil, something that's super erasable, just shading it in so it makes it as dummy proof as possible. And that's what you really want to do, is dummy proof things. You don't want to make a mistake just due to something that you could fix. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to ink this thing up, and then I'll come and show you the final inked version. Last thing with this is, with your paper you're doing your final drafts on, you want to use a high quality paper. You do not want to use copy paper. And the reason is I understand it's cheap and available, but it sucks in so much ink you don't get fine pointed lines. Plus, if you're adding your own screen tones on manually, when you're using the X-Acto knife, it will cut into the paper. So you want to use a high quality paper. Here I'm using stock card paper. You can also use deleter paper. In fact, if you're a person like I used to be, which likes to draw really big, use deleter paper because it's set up bigger, and then what happens is you bring it in, get it scanned, and they shrink it back down. It allows you to add more details. But I like stock card. It's really thick. It sucks up ink well. If you're going to use coloring, it takes that up really well. It's something I highly recommend. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but if you're going to do pages and you're serious about making a good-looking story that you're possibly doing yourself, this is definitely the way to go. Is a high-quality paper, whether it be deleter, cardstock, something nice, thick, takes ink in and colors smoothly, and is rough. So now I'm going to put the video on pause and I'm going to ink this up. Okay, and here is the inked version of that page. As you can see, it came out quite good, I think so myself. As you can see, makes good sense, good flow. I don't do the words in. If I do words, I'll put them in on the computer. But this is, like I said, a recreation page just to kind of do this lesson. And like I said, it helps too with the thicker papers when you got to go back and erase everything. It just crinkles less than copy paper. I'm sure people that have erased on copy paper before know that it tends to crinkle up quite well. As you can see, it holds the ink pretty well. I do my borders with a 08 multi-liner. That's a common size for borders unless you're going for something extreme to make a point, but that's a good rule of thumb, is to use that. For a lot of time for lettering, for the balloons I'll use a 0.5. You just want to kind of change up your line width. It kind of makes your page pop. Like I said, I'm nowhere near a professional at these. I'm still trying to learn how to do them. So this is more of, like I said, a tips and tricks that work for me video than a how-to or guide video. So I hope that you guys got something from this that's usable. Whether if it was just one small thing or something that you can use, then this video would be worth the 5-6 hours I spent drawing and doing all this out. The next video I'm going to do on this channel is an introduction video, so I can kind of introduce you guys to myself and let you know about myself. So here's what I want you to do. Leave in the comment any question you'd like me to answer in the introduction video. Saying I only have 18 subscribers. If you feel like leaving multiple questions, please do. Saying otherwise, if you don't, it'll be a very, very short video. And I hope to get some cool questions. They can be about art. They can be about anything personal. Any sort of questions you guys got for me, anything silly, random, it don't matter. I'd be more than glad to answer those and kind of introduce myself. And I will see you guys in a couple of days. After all this drawing now, I'm going to go sleep. So, see ya.